going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. No Job Rob here. In today's video, I just wanted to talk to you about the best and worst investments that I've ever made. Just be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more videos related to entrepreneurship, making money online, and time, location, and financial freedom. So I want to start by talking about the worst investment that I made, and our story begins in 2017, around the time where Bitcoin came into popularity. And I actually bought into Bitcoin originally when it was around 7,000, and then by the end of the year, it saw its sort of meteoric spike all the way up to about 20,000. So in that time frame, I put in close to 10% of my net worth at the time into Bitcoin. I didn't want to overextend myself, but I still put in a few $1,000s. And it was kind of a time of camaraderie amongst people that were actually aware of crypto and following it, because they were so few and far between. And I ended up linking up with this person who was sort of part of a community of crypto investors. And she was in a private Telegram group chat with a number of people who had made significant earnings by investing in various cryptos. So we got to chatting, and she ended up inviting me into this group. And something that became prominent in the discussions was cloud mining. And without getting too far into it, there's a process called mining that produces cryptos by running complex computer equations to confirm transactions. It's something that people can just plug into the network and use their computing power to do, and they earn a little bit of crypto by doing that. And cloud mining was the concept of actually sending crypto to someone else to do the mining for you, so that way you don't have to invest in equipment and fund the electrical power that it can take, and they take a portion of what's mined and then they kick you back crypto. So essentially it was advertising money for doing absolutely nothing at all. So I was certainly skeptical of it, but there were a lot more successful investors in this group than me. Like I said, I was very new. Like, I didn't even really consider myself an investor. I had just bought some Bitcoin. But there were people profiting, $10,000, $20,000 at a time, timing the jumps in price action and so forth. And, it wasn't really that hard to do at that point in time, because everything was really just going parabolic. But the point being, I wanted a solution that didn't require me to do anything. I mean, like anyone else, the easier money, the more interested people tend to be in it. And unfortunately, that opens a lot of people up to getting scammed, because anytime you see the interest rise in a certain thing, we're seeing this with CBD now. CBD has been on the rise for some time, but every day there's another MLM or pyramid scheme that comes out around CBD. So really, it's just trying to capitalize on the emotions of people when they get excited about this new opportunity. But because it played into what I wanted, and also because I didn't want to do the work of actually being an intelligent investor, and I didn't do my own research, and I just listened to the advice of people that I thought were smarter than me, I ended up taking all of the profits that I got from the increase in price of Bitcoin, and I reinvested them into a contract with a cloud mining company. And the expectation was that after a month or two of the company continuing to mine using the crypto I had sent them, it was a company that had already been around for at least a good 6 months. So basically, I placed a wager that they would be around for at least a few more months, and I would get into the profit on this. But it was a 2-year contract, so if it had worked as advertised, I could have made significant passive income. But not long after I started receiving crypto back did they go offline. And almost certainly what happened was they exit scammed everyone, and they took all the crypto that people had sent them to purchase the contracts and just left with it. Unfortunately, especially at this point, but still, crypto is the wild, wild west. Everything's unregulated and largely anonymous. I mean, you can debate the semantics of that, but the fact remains that you're a lot less protected. And it's possible that they just went out of business. I mean, around this time, they were Chinese-based, and China banned cloud mining. So it seemed as though they were making an effort to relocate, I believe, to the United Kingdom. And they put out more promotional materials and communications with the members, just saying, here's our new data center in the UK. And, it seemed like they were making an effort, and they underwent a rebrand, but eventually everything ceased. I mean, obviously, it's entirely possible they were just trying to scam more people than they already had on the way out. I'm not oblivious to that. But whatever the case was, I was basically back down to my original investment, but with less Bitcoin now after this happened. And I would go on to hold on to the Bitcoin as the price decreased over the course of 2018. And then towards the end of the year, I finally sold out after finally learning the technical analysis and how to understand the charts and predict what the price was going to do. So I was able to save myself a significant amount of money that was useful to me at the time, but still, I sold at a loss after, if I had just cashed out at its peak, when I was up a couple of grand, I would have paid taxes on that, probably in the amount of like $800, somewhere around there, and then ended up plus $1,200 for doing very little. But yeah, lesson learned, guys, about opportunities that seem to be too good to be true. Passive income is out there, but it rarely is just a matter of clicking a couple of buttons and, it just happens for you. It tends to take significant knowledge and skill application up front in order to achieve. And with that said, now I'm going to share with you guys what I think was the best thing that I've invested into over the course of the last couple years of pursuing investing in entrepreneurship. And that will be something I've done a few videos about. That's the Flipping Medical Commodities University. I'm going to put up another screenshot of some earnings that I'm getting with this, but you're welcome to check out other videos. I've put up plenty of screenshots of payments that I've received. But for those who don't know, something that I've been doing, and I've just been treating it as a side hustle, but there are quite a number of people within this community that have purchased the course that are making thousands a month in profit as beginners, and people who even are pulling down a six-figure revenue stream. So I only have a few clients, which is something that I'm looking to increase, but even with that, it's something that I've already made my money back on and then some. And I'm just talking about meeting up with people who have excess medical supplies and purchasing them and listing them online or selling them to a wholesaler for an increased price and just collecting the profit. And what that does is make them available at a more affordable price than retail for people who may not have insurance that need to purchase these same supplies. So it's kind of a rare, like, win-win-win-win type of scenario. I've spent thousands on different courses, most of which didn't lead anywhere, largely due to no fault of their own. A lot of it was just my own lack of focus and application with the course. But there were plenty of things that I invested in that weren't legitimate, like the cloud mining contract. But learning what I had learned when I started to come across content by Felix Wisniewski, who runs the Giant Lifestyle channel, he's the creator of the course, I could tell that everything he was saying made a lot of sense because I had experience with eBay, so I knew that reselling was legitimate. It was something that I had already made thousands in, just reselling like yard sale items, estate sale items, and that sort of thing. So he introduced me to a niche within something that already worked, and it wasn't subject to the frequently changing online platforms like the changing algorithms that might exist with Facebook ads and YouTube and Shopify and all those sort of things. So it was very practical, it was very straightforward, and I was actually able to see the results in action for myself the very first weekend that I got the course. I threw up an ad, met up with someone, and was able to profit immediately off of about half an hour of work. Like, I drove 15 minutes each way, and then the majority of the work was done. So I'm definitely glad I took a chance on it, and it's something that should continue to be a nice boost for me and perhaps even a full-time hustle. It's been kind of like reselling on steroids, so it's taking me back to something that worked well for me a couple years ago, which has definitely been a welcome return. So what I actually wanted to do was give you guys a link to a free training that Felix put on. It goes over the ins and outs of the business, why it might be a great opportunity for you guys to look into. It's definitely a rare business model where there's low competition, it's very straightforward, the profit margins are excellent. Typically I only have to pay 30 to 40% of what I'm going to be able to sell the product for. So it's something that you can snowball very easily compared to a lot of other avenues that you may want to go down. So in the first link below the video, I definitely encourage you guys to click and register for the training class. It's about 45 minutes, but he pretty much gives you everything you would need to know to understand and see the benefits of this particular business model. And just in my experience, guys, I can tell you that it's not something that you want to overlook. This is, one of the most promising things that I've come across in 2 years of entrepreneurship. So click that link below, guys, and thank you for checking out the video today. This has been No Job Rob. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more videos related to time, location, and financial freedom. Thank you for watching, and have a great day, everybody.